Hey, you finally made it. I could tell from the way the door closed behind you the day's been heavy. You didn't even say anything, but you didn't have to. There's this kind of silence that follows people when they've been through too much. It's not dramatic, it's just full of things you couldn't say out loud. You know, I get it. That quiet exhaustion that sits somewhere between your ribs, not quite pain, not quite stress, just weight. The kind that doesn't go away after one good night's sleep. You don't have to tell me what happened. You don't even have to make sense right now. Just be here. Come on. Sit down. Yeah, there. The couch is soft. I made sure the blanket was clean. The kind that smells faintly like fresh laundry and calm evening. No meetings. No deadlines. Just this. Look outside, it's raining again. The kind of rain that doesn't ask for attention. It just falls. Quietly doing its thing. Washing the noise off the world. I always liked nights like this. It feels like permission to slow down, doesn't it? Like the world finally gives you a break from pretending you're okay. You've been running all day, maybe all week, maybe longer, trying to keep up, trying to hold everything together, trying not to slip. I know that feeling, that invisible pressure to keep showing up, even when you're running on fumes. But you don't have to do that here. Not with me. Not tonight. Take a deep breath with me. In and out. Slowly. Do it again. Let the day start to melt out of your shoulders. Feel how different the air is when it's not filled with noise or expectation. It's strange, right? How uncomfortable silence can feel at first, like you should be doing something. But maybe that's the point. Maybe the world has made us so used to running that standing still feels wrong. You don't have to talk. You don't have to smile. You don't even have to think of what's next. There's no next right now. There's just this you, here, safe, breathing. You've done enough for one day, more than enough. And if no one's told you that lately, I'm telling you now. You can let go. The world won't fall apart just because you took a moment to rest. It'll keep spinning, and tomorrow, it'll still be there, waiting. But for tonight, let's just stop pretending everything's fine. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be strong. You just have to be real. That's more than enough. You know what's funny? We live in a world that treats rest like a prize. Like you have to win exhaustion before you're allowed to stop. You hear it everywhere. I'll rest when this is done. Or I'll sleep when I've earned it. And somehow, that lie sticks. You start to believe that slowing down makes you weak. That taking a break means you're falling behind. But you're not falling behind. You're just tired. And being tired doesn't make you broken. It makes you human. Look at you. You've been running on empty for days, maybe weeks. Smiling through deadlines. Showing up for people who don't even realize how heavy you've been carrying things. And through all of it, you kept saying, I'm fine. Because that's what strong people do. Right? But here's something no one ever tells you. Even the strongest people need a place to fall apart a little. To just stop holding everything together. So tonight, this is that place. You don't need to earn the quiet. You don't need to justify the stillness. You don't have to prove that you've done enough. Because enough is right now. Let the world outside keep spinning. Let the notifications pile up. The emails can wait. The people can wait. You can't keep giving everything you have and expect to feel whole. It's okay to let go for a while. Let your shoulders fall. Unclench your jaw. Notice how your body's been holding tension for so long it forgot what relaxed even feels like. You don't have to fix it. Just notice it. Do you hear that? The rain's still falling softer now. Like even the sky decided to whisper instead of shout. Everything's slowing down, and that's okay. You're allowed to have nights like this. Nights where you don't chase productivity, or self-improvement, or goals. Nights where existing is enough, because it is. You are, so stay here a little longer. Let yourself breathe. Let yourself be. You don't have to earn peace. You just have to stop fighting it. Have you ever noticed how being in control feels less like power and more like carrying 100 invisible plates? Each one spinning work, family, expectations, deadlines, and you can't let a single one fall. You've probably become so good at it that people think you enjoy it. They seem calm, collected, and capable. They don't see the late nights, the clenched jaw, the quiet panic that hums underneath every success. It's strange, isn't it? The better you get at keeping things together, the less people check if you're okay. Because, well, you've got this, right? You're the dependable one, the strong one, the one who never cracks. But that kind of strength, the kind that never bends, eventually starts to feel like armor you can't take off. Heavy, rigid, suffocating. After a while, you start forgetting what your own skin feels like underneath it. I know that feeling too well. That pressure to perform strength like it's part of your identity. Because what happens if you don't? What happens if one day you say, I can't handle this right now? Will people look at you differently? Will they stop trusting you? Or worse, will they finally see that you're just human like everyone else? It's exhausting, isn't it? To keep up the illusion that nothing ever gets to you. To smile through frustration. To comfort others when you're quietly breaking inside. You start losing track of who you are when no one's watching. Maybe that's why you're here tonight. Not to talk, not to fix anything, but just to be seen for once. To have someone notice the tired behind your eyes. And that's okay. You don't have to have it all together. Not here. Not right now. Sometimes strength isn't about holding on. It's about finally saying, I'm tired, and letting someone hear you say it. You know, I used to think being independent meant keeping everyone at a distance. It wasn't out of pride, it was survival. When people expect you to have all the answers, it feels safer not to let them see when you're lost. But after a while, the silence starts echoing. You fill every hour with meetings, decisions, deadlines. Anything to keep from hearing how empty the quiet feels. And when the day finally ends, there's no one left to turn to who doesn't see you as the role you play. It's strange. People admire strength, but they rarely understand the loneliness that comes with it. They see your confidence, your composure, your control, but not the moments when you sit alone at night and wonder if anyone really knows you beneath all that. Sometimes I catch myself wishing someone would just notice without me having to explain. To see that the person who's always fine might not be. And that's okay. But I built these walls so high that even kindness started to feel like a threat, like if I let someone in, everything I built would crumble. Funny, isn't it? How the very thing that once protected you starts to feel like a cage. How being strong starts to mean being alone. But you're here tonight. Listening, not demanding, not expecting, just here. And maybe that's what I've been missing all along. Not another voice telling me to stay strong, but a quiet one reminding me that I don't have to. It's strange how relief feels when it's this simple. No grand speeches, no big breakdowns, just the realization that someone stayed. Even when I stopped performing strength. Maybe that's the start of something softer, something real. I can trace it back, this habit of pretending I'm fine. It didn't come from nowhere. It started when I was young. Back then, every time I cried or showed I was scared, someone would say, "Don't make a scene," or "Be strong." And little by little, I learned that silence earns approval, that composure equals respect. Those feelings are something to manage, not express. So I built my calm like armor. Every disappointment, every failure, every moment of fear, I buried them under poise. I learned how to smile at the right time, how to talk like I was in control, how to never let my voice shake. And everyone seemed to like that version of me, the unshakable one. The one who could take anything and still stand tall. It's strange how the world rewards that, isn't it? They call it maturity, professionalism, grace under pressure. But no one tells you how heavy it becomes to live behind a mask. I remember one night in college, during finals week, when I got my first real taste of breaking. Everyone else had gone home for winter break, and I was sitting on the library steps, staring at my phone, too tired to even cry. And someone passing by said, "You always look like you have everything figured out." I laughed, and that laugh hurt more than anything, because it wasn't true, not even close. That was the first time I realized how invisible pain becomes when you wear strength too well. How people stop asking if you're okay because they assume you always are. Maybe that's why tonight feels different. Because for once, I'm not pretending, and you're not asking me to. You're just listening, like that's enough. And maybe it is. There's something no one tells you about success. It's not the long hours or the pressure, it's the quiet that comes after. That eerie stillness, when everyone stops questioning you because you've made it. When I first started climbing the ladder, I thought reaching the top would mean freedom. Freedom to choose, to breathe, to finally relax. But the higher I went, the fewer people there were who spoke to me, not my title, not my position, not the image they had of who I was supposed to be. It's lonely up here, not because I don't have people around me, I do. Meetings, assistants, partners, colleagues. The room is always full, but somehow, I've never felt more alone. I think success demands a kind of silence. You learn not to complain because others would kill for your problems. You stop sharing struggles because you're supposed to be the one solving them. And when the applause fades, when the emails stop coming in at midnight, you start wondering, is this what fulfillment was supposed to feel like? Some nights I look out at the city, all those lights in the windows, and I imagine people in them laughing, arguing, living. And I wonder if they're happier just because they don't have to hold everything together like I do. You know what's strange? People always say it's lonely at the top, but they say it like a punchline, not a warning. They don't talk about how it eats away at you, How your reflection in the glass starts to look like someone you don't recognize. I chased perfection for so long that I forgot what peace even feels like. And now, I'm realizing they were never the same thing. But maybe that's why you being here matters so much. Because for once, I'm not just the person who keeps the world spinning. I'm someone who's allowed to pause. And that pause, it feels like oxygen. You know, there's a strange thing that happens when you spend years being the one in charge. You start to forget who you are when you're not giving directions. When you're not fixing, planning, or anticipating someone else's next move. Sometimes I catch myself at home, reaching for my phone to check schedules, emails, anything, just so I don't have to sit still. Because sitting still means feeling, and I've avoided that for a long time. It's not that I don't have emotions. It's that I learned to manage them like tasks on a list. Fear, compartmentalize it. Sadness, postpone it. Anger, reframe it into strategy. Every feeling became something to handle, not something to feel. But lately, it's catching up to me. I find myself staring at my own reflection, wondering, who am I outside of this armor? Outside of the power, the control, the responsibility. I used to think I was proud of who I'd become. Now, I'm not sure I even know her. The version of me that laughs freely, that feels joy without calculating what it costs that person feels so far away. Have you ever noticed how people say you've changed, like it's always a bad thing? But what if you changed so much you lost the parts that made you human? That's what scares me. Not failure, not loss, but the idea that I've become a stranger to myself. Maybe that's why talking to you feels different. You're not looking at the title, the image, the mask. You're just here, listening. And somehow, it's making me realize how much I've been craving honesty, not from others, but from myself. Because somewhere between being dependable and being human, I forgot that it's okay to fall apart a little, to not always have the answers, to just be me. It happened on a night not too different from this one. The office was empty, the kind of quiet that hums in your ears. I was reviewing some numbers on a screen, the city lights flickering on the glass behind me, when something inside me just stopped. It wasn't exhaustion. It wasn't sadness. It was nothing. That's what scared me. I had built this life on momentum meetings, goals, strategy, results. But in that moment, everything felt weightless, meaningless. I realized I couldn't even remember the last time I'd felt anything deeply. Not excitement, not pride, not even joy, just motion. I sat there for hours, staring at the reflection of someone who looked calm, capable, and completely hollow. And for the first time, I didn't recognize her. That moment haunted me for weeks. Because of all this, the success, the respect, the power couldn't make me feel alive. What was I even chasing? That's when I knew something had to change. Not the company, not the goals, me. And maybe that's why I started talking tonight. Because sometimes healing begins with one honest sentence. With letting someone see you not the polished version, not the strong one, but the one who's just trying to find peace again. So, thank you for being here, for not filling the silence, for just listening. You didn't try to fix me. You just stayed, And that's something I didn't know I needed until now. Tomorrow, I'll go back to being composed. I'll make decisions, lead meetings, keep the machine running. But tonight, I got to be human, and maybe that's the most powerful thing I've done in a long time. So, let's just stay here a little longer. No words, no pressure. Just quiet, the kind that doesn't feel empty anymore. Thank you for staying. You don't have to be strong right now. Just rest.